Very often when I sit down with somebody in a divorce consultation, the very first thing they want to share with me is the misconduct by their spouse that led them to seeking a divorce. Sometimes it's adultery, sometimes it's addiction issues. And they ask me, is this going to matter in my divorce? And the answer is it depends. Generally, you do not have to prove fault to get a divorce in West Virginia. Most divorces, virtually all of them, are on what's called the grounds of irreconcilable differences. And you don't have to prove irreconcilable differences exist so long as the other spouse admits that they do exist and the marriage should not continue. One of the primary reasons that their fault is not litigated in our family court system is because it really doesn't change the outcome of how the assets and debts are divided. In fact, our family law judges are prohibited from considering fault in dividing assets and debts, and within decisions related to the custody of children, only fault directly related to a parenting ability would be considered. So if there are allegations of child abuse, clearly, or domestic abuse that occurred in the family home, they could be relevant. But as a general rule, fault is not hotly litigated in our divorce cases. And in one way, it helps streamline the case. It narrows the issues, to be sure. So oftentimes, we will put in an initial divorce pleading a claim for fault based upon adultery or cruel and inhumane treatment to make the other spouse aware that that allegation has been made. But really, when we get into the litigation, fault is usually not going to change the outcome of the case, and it's not going to be particularly relevant to the family law judge, so not a great deal of time is spent on that. But I certainly understand, and I always ask my clients when they come in, I do want to know the reason that led to the divorce, because I just think it matters to the client, and it might matter to the way that we handle the case. So even though it's not particularly relevant to the judge, we're certainly going to talk about it in your consultation so I understand why it is that you're in my office seeking a divorce. And that's part of what I try to do, is understand where my client is coming from in going through this very difficult stage of their life. And I think that's one of the unique aspects to the representation I offer, is I really try to understand the personal situation and the background that's led to this very difficult time of your life. If you need a divorce consultation and you need to discuss what's gotten you to the point that you need a divorce, I invite you to get on arnoldandbailey.com. My name's Greg Bailey. Read our reviews, read our Google reviews, check us out, and I offer excellent representation in family law and going through the divorce process. So please reach out to me if you think I can help.